Friends, hello and welcome on TechGuruSpeaks.com. Today I would like to describe one of the important topics of core Java programming, and that is Java inheritance. As you already know, any object-oriented programming language will have three essential features like encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. So being an object-oriented programming language, Java will provide support for the inheritance property. So that is the topic of discussion for this tutorial. Basically, inheritance in Java is a mechanism to build new classes from existing class. The existing class is called superclass. On the other hand, the newly created class is called subclass. A subclass must use the extends clause in order to derive from a subclass, which will be the part of the header of the subclass definition. Java inheritance defines an easier relationship between a superclass and its subclasses. Say for example, a mammal is an animal. So it is basically denotes user relationship. A subclass inherits the properties of its superclass. Say for example, if a particular superclass is having certain fields and methods, so that will be inherited by the subclass. So that is basically promoting code reusability. That means the code that has been once defined can be reused at a later time by means of its subclass. So that is the idea of Java inheritance property. So now we will be having a look at the types of inheritance basically. There are 5 types of inheritance. Of them, Java classes support the first 3 categories only, like single inheritance. Say for example, class B is the subclass which extends from class A only, which is the superclass. So single parent class and single child class. So A is the superclass and B is the subclass. Multi-level inheritance, class B extends from class A, then class C extends from class B. So A is basically the grandparent from which B has been derived, and from parent B the child class C has been developed. Hierarchical inheritance, class A is basically the superclass for 3 classes like B, C and D. So the first 3 categories like single inheritance, multi-level inheritance and hierarchical inheritance, that will be supported by Java classes. Then comes multiple inheritance. That means whether a particular class C extends from interfaces A and B. Say that is the idea, that is to be applicable with respect to interface, which is basically a special kind of class which is having static and final field and abstract methods, but it is not being supported by Java classes. We cannot have the scenario that a particular class is being created from 2 existing classes. So that is only supported by interface, which is a different concept with respect to Java class. Okay, so the 4th category is not being supported by Java classes. Instead, it will be supported by a different concept that is called interface. So that will be discussed later. Next comes hybrid inheritance. It is basically mixing of 2 or more types of inheritance. So Java doesn't support multi-inheritance and hybrid inheritance through classes that I have already specified. Like in order to implement them, I need to have the concept interface. So by using interfaces, we can achieve multi-inheritance in Java. So now I will be moving to the demonstration part, and that will be done by using NetBeans IDE, which is one of the most popular IDEs for Java programming. So just move to the NetBeans IDE. So first I will be creating a project, Java project. It is basically representing Java AC, that is Java Standard Edition, JAC basically. Suppose the name of the project is inheritance example. It is the name of the project. So it will be creating a structure for you, project structure. Now suppose I would like to create my own class here. Say for example it is named inheritance test. So first I will be just removing the unnecessary lines. It is not useful for demonstration. So first I will be creating a class named, say for example, area, and it is having two variables. These are the basically instance fields, length and breadth. So I have created two instance fields of the class named area. Now I would like to create a constructor. So I am using the same technique that I followed earlier. So it is the constructor that I have created here. So now I would like to create a method that is basically an instance method which will be used for calculating the area for this class named area. So say for example the name of the instance method is compute area. So it will be basically creating the formula for calculating the area of this class. So in compute area, within bracket I have written length into breadth. So the product or multiplication product will be just giving you the formula for calculating area. Now I will be creating another class that is basically, so it is basically the super class. So I can also write it here, super class. Now I would like to create a subclass here. Say for example subclass. So say for example the name of the class is volume. So class volume. Now I will be writing here extends clause. Then comes area, that is the super class. So it is the name of the subclass which extends the superclass area. So suppose it is having a new property that is called height. Okay, now I will be inserting the constructor for you. Just have a look at here. So you don't have to write this code again and again because we are using the property of inheritance. So in order to include this kind of code, you can have the super keyword. So if I am writing here super within bracket length comma breadth, so it will be basically calling the superclass constructor. So it is basically a parameterized superclass constructor. So it is the matching parameter. So it will be get called by using the super call. So it must be the first statement in the constructor of the subclass. So by using this statement, I can make a call to the superclass constructor so that I don't have to rewrite these statements again. So that is the idea. So by using this technique, so basically it is calling superclass constructor. Okay, so that is the idea that I have used. Now I would like to create and it is basically its own property being added. Okay, so now I will be writing here if you require you can also change their say order, it doesn't matter though, but it must be there. Like height property must be there. Like length breadth, it is basically coming from the area class and height is its own property. So by inheritance property it will be actually getting the access to the fields of the superclass that is named area, and length and breadth, these are basically the fields, instance fields of its superclass. Now I am going to create a method that will be calculating the volume for this volume class. Okay, so here I will be using a method, say for example named compute volume. So it is a different method here. So length into breadth into height. So that is a formula that I have used here. So in that way I have calculated the volume for a particular class named volume. Okay, so it is named compute volume. Now I'll be using here, so it is the class where I'll be basically creating objects and we'll be calling the methods accordingly. So first I'll be trying to write the main method. So I'll be writing here psvm, press tab, so it will be creating automatically for you like public static void main string args. Then I'll be creating an object of the superclass. So a is being the object reference of the superclass. Say for example I am passing two values here, say 15 and 12. So 15 is the value for length and 12 is the value for breadth. So it will be getting copied into this particular local field and it will be getting copied into this particular field, and they will be basically initializing the instance fields length and breadth respectively. So that is done by using the constructor here. So it is the superclass object. Now using this object I will be able to call its method. Say for example it is named area1. So I will be writing here a dot compute area. So it will be just creating the area for this particular superclass object. So now I would like to display it. Say area1, it is named area1. So I'll be just showing you the idea of running the program just step by step. So like it is showing you the value. So it is basically calling this method to calculate the area of this particular area class and its corresponding object. So that is the idea that we have used here. Now I would like to create an object of the class named volume. So volume, say for example v equal to new volume. So here I'll be say putting some values here for the value of length, breadth and height. So 20 is initializing this value, this variable basically. 15 is initializing this one and 10 is basically for height. So in that way they will be getting initialized and they are trying to initialize the values of these variables length, breadth and height. So length and breadth are basically coming from the superclass, that is area, and height its own property, like volume is having its property as height. So it is basically an instance field of the subclass. So now I will be creating an object, so that is named v. Now by using this method I can also access the superclass method. Say for example it is named area2 and it is called, the object is basically v. So by using, so there is no compilation error because it is having auto compilation feature on. So by using the object of the subclass I could be able to call the superclass method. So that is the concept of inheritance. Like by inheritance property a particular subclass will be able to access the properties of its superclass. So now it will be just trying to create particular variable that will be storing the result of the call to the method named compute volume. It is basically named V and it is named compute volume. So it is basically area 2 and it is basically volume. So now I would like to run it. I would like to run the program. Right click on it, run file option. So it will be basically showing you the result. So as you can see here, 20 is for length, 15 is for breadth and 10 is for height. So by using this constructor, it will be creating an object and making the initialization accordingly. So we have created the object V. By using this object, we will be able to access the superclass method, that is compute area, that we have done here. And finally, it will be able to call its own method. That is a normal practice. So in that way, I have demonstrated the idea of using inheritance in Java. Now I would like to give you one more example. Say for example, I can have here, say for example, 3 classes. So one of them is superclass and rest of them are basically say subclass. Say for example, class animal. So it will be having only one string. So string s1 equal to animal. So then I'll be creating another class. Say for example, class mammal extends animal, because a mammal is an animal, so it is basically showing the user relationship that I have described earlier. So it is say basically s2 and it is showing mammal. Now I'll be creating another class. Say for example, it is named tiger and it is using the extends clause to derive this particular class from mammal. So I'll be creating a different string here. So all these are basically instance fields. So it is showing tiger. So now I'll be creating object of the respective classes, like so since we have not included any constructor here, the compiler will be automatically adding default no argument constructor for you. So don't have to worry about it, because I have written here default no argument constructor. So first I have created the objects. So now I'll be trying to access each of the fields of the classes that I have created. Basically it is showing you the idea of multi-level inheritance. Like from animal class I have created mammal, from mammal I have created tiger, because a mammal is an animal, is a relationship, a tiger is a mammal, again it is showing a is a relationship. So that is the idea of multi-level inheritance. So now I will be trying to access the respective properties, like so it will be just a dot s1. I can also put here a colon for display, for ease of representation basically. So by using the object reference of the subclass I can access it. and so here I will be writing s2. It is its own property that I can also write here. So lastly I will be using, so that means it can access like the reference object reference m of the mammal class will be able to access the property of its superclass as well as its own property. That is normal practice. So now I'll be using the same concept for the tiger class. So here it is named T. There is the object reference name. It will be named S3. It will be S3 again. So there is no error. So basically by using the object reference of tiger class, I will be able to access its own property, that is S3, as well as the properties of its parent and grandparent. So parent is the mammal of tiger and animal is the grandparent of tiger. So just trying to run the program, it will be showing the output accordingly. So better to put a semicolon here and a space. In that way the output will look better basically. Okay, so that is the idea, or you can also omit the colon here, whatever you think appropriate. So it is basically showing the values respectively, like by inheritance property the mammal object reference m will be able to access the property of its parent, that is animal, and it is named s1, that is m dot s1. Similarly tiger will be able to access its own property as well as the property of its grandparent, that is animal, and property of its parent, that is mammal. So that is the idea that I have implemented here. So I hope that you have understood the logic how to implement inheritance in Java, and by using this property we are basically promoting code reusability. That means the code that you have created in terms of its superclass will be accessed by the code in terms of its subclass. So that is the idea we have implemented here. So I hope that you have understood the concept of inheritance, and now you will be able to implement this concept by using Java programming. I also hope that you have thoroughly watched this video, and if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here comes the URL of my YouTube channel, and please visit my website. You will get a lot of useful information here, and this is my official email ID. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.